It's my mind that comes straight to the rescue. Shut you up and oppress you. Disagree with us, you're just a troll.
Crazy Crab in the house, and today I want to cover this article. Trolls tried to sink Captain Marvel, she triumphed. It was covered on Geeks and Gamers, but I wanted to cover it as well. I felt like this article is pretty much the epitome of the mainstream media and what they're doing right now, and it's really, really bad. And I need to talk about it. I've been too busy to cover this like I want to, but I urge everybody, get out there. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have social media, help people to understand the lies that they're spreading. And don't let the media warp everybody's mind and believe things that simply are not true. It's not about liking or disliking a movie, as I'm going to get into. It's about the truth. It's about reality. It's about what's best for everybody. So this article here by Maya Salam says, those who targeted the new superhero film were in part incited by comments made by its star Brie Larson, who called it a big feminist movie. And here we have it. Trolls tried to torpedo the new Captain Marvel movie. Never seen any evidence of this. I mean, trolls tried to torpedo the new Captain Marvel movie. Where's the evidence of this? And why are they trolls? I mean, tried to torpedo. Where's the evidence of this? I mean, a lot of people didn't want to see it. A lot of people gave it poor reviews after they saw it. Neither of those, to me, defines a troll trying to torpedo it. But anyway, let's move on. But in the end, Shiro... I mean, how insulting to women. They can't be a hero? They have to be a Shiro? We've had women heroes for forever. Not only in film, in real life too. But now we call them Shiro? And they don't understand that. Anyway, I can't. But Shiro. The Shiro prevailed. Okay, let's just start here because there has been a lot of conspiracy theories. I wanted to make a video specifically on this. Look, it doesn't matter if the film made money or not, if it did well. And apparently it did really well. That's fine. I definitely follow John Talks. If you know that channel, check out John Talks. This guy's awesome. John Talks mentioned in more than one video that there is a lot of evidence that maybe Disney was bolstering their own sales. And I would not put it past them. After what did happen to Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, it's complete bogus. And obviously, if you don't know, the person that owns Fandango, where you buy movie tickets, is the same guy. Those guys own Rotten Tomatoes, and he also used to work at Disney. He knows Bob Iger. So, I mean, yes, and a lot of people were saying the theaters were empty, and there was conversations with theater managers who were like, yeah, 25 tickets were, people didn't show up per screening or something of that nature. There's lots of circumstantial evidence, but without some hard evidence, I mean, I'm not going to make that accusation that the numbers are false, because it doesn't even matter. So the movie did good. Who cares? I wasn't on some kind of crusade for the movie to fail. I'm not happy that it did well because I don't want these movie studios to be encouraged to continue making films that are pushing far left politics and that are not focused on making a good movie, regardless of whether the protagonist is male or female. It doesn't matter. In fact, nobody cares about that, which is what they don't understand, and they write these articles. Nobody cares about that. Now, if Disney did that, they're hopefully going to get in trouble for it. And if they continue that type of behavior, there's going to be a massive scandal sooner rather than later. And Disney's going to be in a lot of hot water. So honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I'm assuming that the numbers are more or less accurate. Let's just say I'm assuming the movie did extremely well. A whole lot of people went to go see the film. All the regular Marvel fans, the majority of them went to go check out the film, which is fine. Wonderful. Keep doing what you're doing, though. It took Star Wars a few films before one of them bombed, right? I mean, they had The Force Awakens, which was kind of, starting to push those politics, but it wasn't the worst. Rogue One I enjoyed a lot, so I can't say much about that, but even their casting choices and some of the content was definitely, you could see it. But again, it wasn't too bad. But then The Last Jedi was awful. So 3 movies kind of built to it. She thought that, okay, she can get away with this now after 2 successful movies. The Last Jedi came out. She went hard on the politics. And the movie sucked anyway, even without that. But she went hard on that. And then, of course, the next movie bombed. So Marvel, keep doing what you're doing and see how that works out for you. Moving on, within hours of the movie's release, International Women's Day, we've got to mention that, in what appeared to be a concerted effort. Why did it appear to be a concerted effort? Some 58,000 online reviews of Captain Marvel had tanked its rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So 58,000 reviews came in that were negative. Where's the evidence that these were concerted? Where's the evidence that this was a conspiracy? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence that these 58,000 people are all buddies who know each other and got together and said, let's all go here and tank Captain Marvel? Where's the evidence? Oh, there is none. Okay. Leaving the film with an abysmal score of around 30%. Well, we can't have that, can we? Rotten Tomatoes fixed the problem. Rotten Tomatoes fixed the problem. Rotten Tomatoes, I made a video on this. Rotten Tomatoes is rotten. Rotten Tomatoes is a scam. They're not to be trusted. They are going to shill out to Disney. They're going to help Disney out. And that's what they did here. And they did it twice. They removed the want to see, and then they fixed this problem by removing 50,000 reviews. Now, I don't know if all 50,000 were negative. Maybe they tried to do it in a way that was removing any review that they felt was possibly a bot or possibly trolling. In their opinion, what's trolling. But obviously, the majority of them were negative because the score has been going up. As they remove reviews, the score has been going up. As they hold back reviews to approve them, the score has been going up. They made sure to get that popcorn standing up ASAP. So anyway, the site said had been written before the film was released. That's I don't understand that. Like, is this true? Because before the film was released, you can't put reviews. You can only put want to see or not want to see. So by saying Rotten Tomatoes fixed the problem that afternoon by removing, and I tried to look into this and I couldn't find anything where they said they'd been written before the film was released. How is that possible? You can't go in there and put your review until the film was released. What, did they write it before the film was released and then copy and paste it after? How would they know that? I mean, this doesn't feel right. Among other measures, the site swiftly eliminated pre-release audience reviews. And this is not true, too. They're not pre-release audience reviews. You cannot review a movie before it comes out. This article is just so many lies and so many just misleading information. The site did not swiftly eliminate pre-release audience reviews. The site swiftly eliminated want to see, which is a yes or no answer and has nothing to do with how good the movie is. It's not a review on the movie. It is yes or no. Do you want to see it or not? And if you say no, then it helps the no percentage. And in this case, more people did not want to see the movie than did. And Rotten Tomatoes and Disney were appalled by this. So they removed it. They removed that feature. They're not pre-release audience reviews. There's no pre-release audience reviews. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's no pre-release audience reviews. You can't review the movie before it comes out. Rotten Tomatoes didn't allow that and doesn't allow that because it doesn't even make sense. That's just idiotic. It doesn't even make sense. You can't see the reviews. You can't even see anything until a few days before it comes out when all the people with press passes and stuff get to see it early, and then you get to see their reviews. But anyway, moving on. It's just lie. Let's move on. We're doing it more accurately and authentically represent the voice of fans while protecting our data and public forum from bad actors. What? So anyway, this is just, of course, somewhat of a politically correct statement. It doesn't even make that much sense to me. But basically, let me translate here. We're doing it to more accurately and authentically represent the score that we want to be there while protecting our friends over at Disney. Now the movie's audience score is around 62%, which is, I believe, inaccurate. I believe it should be lower. Maybe it shouldn't even be as low as 30. Maybe there was some bots. Maybe there was, I don't know. Maybe there's people going in and putting multiple scores that shouldn't be allowed. Every person should be able to go put one review. So, I mean, who knows? You never know the exact score. There's always going to be some tampering. There's always going to be someone who can make an account and then go to a different computer and make a new account. I can make an account in my niece and my uncle and my nephew and all these people who don't even use the internet maybe. I can go get my grandma and my grandpa and make accounts for them and start, how are you going to stop people from doing that? But the truth of the matter is it's going to give a basic idea of what the public thinks, because there's going to be people, especially in a movie like this, there's going to be people putting multiple positive reviews and there are going to be people putting multiple negative reviews. And but right now the mainstream media and Rotten Tomatoes and of course Disney do not want that score to be low. They want it to be high. This is the most protected film ever made. So moving on, the tomato meter's at 79, which honestly is pretty low considering that's from the mainstream critics. So obviously this movie is probably not great. I am interested to see it someday, but I don't think that I will love it. Why am I interested to see it? Out of curiosity. I'll be honest. I just want to see it out of curiosity. I'm not about to go spend my money at the movie theaters for it, but, if someday I can watch it for free, I might check it out, to be honest. Moving on. But Captain Marvel is not the only recent female-led film in the comic or sci-fi realm to be swarmed by trolls. Again, trolls. What are we going to talk about? The all-female remake of Ghostbusters was garbage. Nobody liked it. It was a complete SJW, complete feminist agenda made film. It was not made to be good. The men in that film were made to be complete morons, even though in the original Ghostbusters, Janine was a pretty tough character. She was really strong. She didn't mess around. She wasn't afraid of nobody. If I recall, she was a pretty strong character. That's how you make a strong female character. Janine wasn't no joke. But now in the new one, the 4 Ghostbuster women are, of course, perfect. And then the man who takes Janine's place, the secretary man, is just the biggest idiot ever in that movie. So the movie was clearly politically driven. That's what the problem was. Now, Black Panther, I don't know what you're talking about. That was not swarmed by trolls. Say what you want to make you feel better. Play the victim card here. Black Panther was seen by millions and millions of people, most of whom really liked it because it was a really good movie. So now you want to play this card? Go for it. This is a lie. Black Panther was not swarmed by trolls. Star Wars The Last Jedi was not swarmed by trolls. We all went to see this movie excited as ever. We were coming off of Rogue One, which was a lot of people liked. A lot of people didn't love it, but I don't think too many people just hated Rogue One. Maybe there was a few, but most people were like, okay, now we have The Last Jedi coming out. If you didn't like J.J. Abrams that much, we have a new director here. Everybody was pumped for this movie. That's why it did so well in the opening weekend. And why did it taper off a little more than expected? Because it was garbage. And here she goes with more lies. Well, it's not a lie that it had a diverse cast, but the insinuation here is that it had a diverse cast, and that's why we don't want to see it. That's why we're trolling it. Lie. All found themselves in the crosshair of armchair critics, some aligned with alt-right groups. How many are aligned with alt-right groups? And what does that have, and if they are, does that have anything to do with the fact that they didn't like the movie The Last Jedi or Ghostbusters or any other movie they didn't like? Do you think that people are in alt-right groups and hardcore, far right, are worried about this stuff? They're just like the far left. They don't care about these movies. The vast majority of people who care about these movies care about movies, not right, not left, not politics. We go to check out the movies. So stop it. These are lies. They're lies, misrepresentation, distortion of facts. Last year, a Facebook group, here we go, and this is another next topic to talk about. Down with Disney's treatment of franchise and its fanboys is a troll page. It is a nothing page. This Facebook group has, 20, 30 followers. It's nothing. It never has been anything. It never will be anything. This did nothing. Nothing. And I mean nothing. Nothing to affect the performance of any of these movies. Whether The Last Jedi, Black Panther, anything Captain Marvel, this group did nothing to affect that. This is a nothing group. And again, this writer is trying to make the normal mainstream audience who read this article think, wow, they're creating huge, massive groups on Facebook and going and conspiring to go out and ruin these films because they're so racist and they're so sexist and they hate diversity. And then they're getting together and it's all lies. And they're spreading these lies out here in these articles for people to believe, and it's warping people's minds. And it's been done before in much more horrible times. If you want to go back in history and talk about other times when propaganda, media propaganda and things like that were pushed into people's mind to make people basically become sick and demented and do horrible things that led to some of the biggest tragedies. And I'm not saying this is going to do that. I'm not trying to put that at that level, but this is the same type of behavior. And it could be going on in other parts of the world right now outside of entertainment. But I want to stick with entertainment right now and movies right now because that's what this channel is about. And this is really, really bad because these are lies. And people that defend these articles and people that defend these people and people that call us trolls and people that are on that side, and they really believe that, you're just wrong. You are wrong, and I will call you wrong. I don't care whether you like the movie or not. I can deal with that. If you thought The Last Jedi was the best Star Wars movie ever made, I'm going to disagree with you till I'm dead. But I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to say you're wrong because that's your opinion. I mean, I'll say I disagree with you. I think the movie's awful. I think the movie's horrible. But you're not wrong by saying it's your favorite Star Wars movie, because that's a fact that you loved it. You liked the movie, if you really did. I can deal with that. But I'm not dealing with you saying, being on the side of these articles, because these are lies. They're straight out lies. Misleading information, lies, and they're playing a very scary game right now, because it is so common in the mainstream media right now. These articles are getting so common, and people are going to believe them, and it's very scary. And we need to come out against these. Those who appeared to have targeted Captain Marvel were most likely incited by comments made by Brie Larson. Okay, I guess, did they target? We targeted Captain Marvel, like we picked out Captain Marvel. Nobody targeted anything. We're not targeting films. We're fans of film. We get to choose what we go see, what we don't go see, what movie we want to spend our money on, what we don't want to spend our money on. If the main star of the film is talking trash about white men and being racist against white men and sexist against white men, maybe white men will decide to see a different movie. What's wrong with that? Brie Larson was racist against white men and sexist against white men. And white men are fans, a lot of white men are fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They decide, I don't want to go see this movie. That's fine. Some of them are going to say, you know what, I don't really care. I'm going to go see it anyway. That's fine too. Wonderful. I'm more in that category if I was a fan of Marvel. I'm not going to go not see a Star Wars film because the main star talked bad about whatever, my race or my gender. I'm not going to not go see it. Talking, blah, 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 whatever. I don't really care about that. I care about the films. But in this particular case, it was more than just that. The film was just pushing SJW politics so hard and everything like that. And I think people were just put off by it. But obviously performed well. Like I said earlier, congratulations to the film for performing well. That's fine. Whatever. That's not what this is about. It's about these articles. It's about the mainstream media pushing these lies, because this article's filled with them. Here's what she said. I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. Extremely racist. Extremely racist. There's a ways to say this without being racist, without being sexist, because this is extremely racist. A 40-year-old white dude, his opinion about any film is valid. He's allowed to have that opinion, especially if he's a professional critic. He's allowed to watch the film and make his critique. Just like a 40-year-old white woman is. Just like any 80-year-old white woman or 80-year-old white man or 80-year-old black man or 80-year-old Hispanic man or 18-year-old Hispanic girl. It does not matter. They all have the right to have an opinion on a film. And if they have the credentials to make a professional review, they're allowed to do that. You don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell you what didn't work. Then don't read the articles. Don't read the reviews then. But don't come out here and say something like this, because this is racist. She also told E.T. that the vision for the film was clear during an early meeting with Marvel. Make a big feminist movie. Oh, geez. I didn't know that. So even if the trolls tried to stop her, make a big feminist movie she did. And why is this okay? Do you not understand that these are films for entertainment? They're not supposed to be political propaganda. Well, they are apparently now. But that's not what films were for. That's not what films are meant to be. Films are meant to be films where we can escape the everyday world or the craziness of politics or whatever and go watch something, and get entertained and get lost in the film. And this is the opposite of that. This film even takes place in the 90s. And from what I've heard, it has references to Trump and the wall. Are you kidding me? I'm not saying I'm a big Trump supporter, but I get sick of this in films. That's the second movie that takes place in the 90s that goes after Trump in the movie. The other one was the first Purge. So that one did the same thing. It's pathetic. I find it to be pathetic. And this article, it just goes in every direction. And it's just, like I said, the epitome of what's happening here, of the typical article that's coming out, calling us trolls. We don't disagree with them, and et cetera, et cetera. It's an absolute joke. It has to stop. It has to get out there. We have to do something about it. I'm going to be releasing more songs. I have even some original music here that I'm going to be putting out. I'm going to be also pushing this, a paid promotion here on YouTube. New album I have coming out with more parodies. And I know they're funny, but they also serve a point. And the point is that this is wrong. And doing it in mainstream media where you're supposed to be professional journalists who write the truth, unbiased. I know that's impossible. You can't really ask a human being to be completely unbiased, but come on, this is ridiculous. Absolutely insane. It's time to take action. It's time for everybody to get out there. Everybody support YouTube channels like Geeks and Gamers. Everybody support John Talks. Everybody get out there on your social media. Support the tweets that you need to get out there. And there was a poll put out by some shill saying about, how excited are you for the next Star Wars movie after watching The Last Jedi? More excited, less excited, as excited. And apparently less excited was winning. He removes the poll and blames trolls. Typical behavior. Don't get the results you like? Remove it. Eliminate it. Is this the direction we want to go with society right now? Is this what we want to do? Is this what we feel right? You think this is right? If you think this is right, I'm going to disagree with you. You think that Captain Marvel was awesome movie? Wonderful. You think The Last Jedi was an awesome movie? Great. That's your opinion. I'm not gonna have a problem with that. You think that these articles are right? You're wrong. These articles are wrong because they're full of lies. A lie is a lie no matter what. Truth is truth. Whether a movie was good is an opinion. I'm Crazy Crab, and I'm leaving. See ya!